free will of human beings. That is to say, the way the evolution occurs once human beings appear on a planet is that they have to freely choose things. And it might take them eons to choose certain things, unless they're specifically taught to do so. And but this is the most effective way to evolve civilizations. It's been learned in millions and millions and millions of planets who've evolved over the eons. But not according to Lucifer. According to him, it would be something more akin to what communism is compared to sort of natural capitalism, wherein the capitalist ethic, and I'm not a big fan of capitalism, but is the notion of you freely use resources to create private property and business without over control of some central administration. But communism would say, no, we can speed that up. We can centralize administration and do things more effectively and more efficiently. But that may mean we're not going to let you have your own garden plot and grow your own vegetables. You're not going to have the freedom to raise money and start a business. We're not going to let you do that because that causes chaos. Not so much chaos, but it's an inefficient way to do production. So we're going to centralize production, and we're going to call the shots from above, and it's better for you.
And it's funny because when they do that, everything goes to hell as well, and nothing works after that point. So,
yeah, well, you live in Europe. I traveled in Russia, and I saw some of the results of this.
Oh, and it's horrible, so, absolutely horrible.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, yeah. Moscow, and I've seen some of this, not as much as maybe you have, but
yeah, it's rampant in Sweden, and there's full on corporatism infused with socialism there. So I see the tremendous detrimental effects that this type of thinking has, and it's interesting as well because if we tie in this, then what we hear, or what I've heard anyway, from the story of Lucifer and a little bit like that, is that it's a reverse of what you basically said. It was the idea is that it's God's law or God's decision that actually is steeped in order, and basically there is no free will in his universe or her universe, whatever. And it's Lucifer who comes along and kind of breaks that pattern, being the rebellion to actually offer human beings free will. But what you're saying, what you're sharing from the Urantia book, is the reverse of that.
Yeah, it's complicated, but yeah, it's actually it's like propaganda or Orwellian propaganda saying we're actually making you free, right? But it's really not freedom. It's the communist part. It's Leon Trotsky is going to tell you how to run your economy, and you locals really can't figure it out. Yeah. So it's really like that. And I was a Marxist when I was in my early 20s, and I really understand the appeal of this, so it's an idea that has a lot of currency on our planet. Which
unfortunately, it does. Yeah.
So certain elites, the elites know better, and let them take control of your rights, and you don't really know, and so it is a set of paradoxes. In the name of freedom, they remove your freedom.
That's right. Very, very interesting. In a little while, we're going to take a break here, but we want to talk a little bit more about basically where people can go to find the texts and find the updated versions of all of this. As far as I've figured out so far, of course, the Urantia book is available on many different websites. And so why don't we cover this a little bit? Are there different versions out there now? Where is there original one and translations, updated ones? What's your take on this? But it is kind of a mess, isn't it, out there right now?
No, I don't think it's all that bad. There's really just two big publishers. There's the Urantia Foundation, the original copyright holder, and they do a great job of publishing the book. They have done a superb job of getting translations done. And I mentioned previously there is a Swedish translation, even though Sweden is a totally secular country, probably not a huge market, but most of the European languages are done. Even things like Lithuanian, Russian, Greek is nearly done, but all the main European languages are done. But no, you can easily get it in books. At least in the States, you can get it in bookstores. But It's easily available in European translations in European bookstores, as far as I know. And there's a Chinese translation. It's some years away. Japanese is not too far from. Arabic is actually in process. Hindi. It's widely available. It's not really an issue of getting the Urantia book. Also, you can download ebook versions, and a lot of people are putting out free ebook versions of it now. And there's hundreds of thousands of people downloaded the ebook of the Urantia book in recent years.
Excellent. Let's talk about your website a little bit as well, on some of the updated versions that you have out there, and anything else. I mean, as you said, you're a publisher. You have a lot of different titles out there. Please go ahead and mention a few of these so people know where to go to find out more about you and your work as well.
Thanks, Henrik. My main site is evolving-souls.org. There's a hyphen in there, evolving souls with a hyphen.org. And there I have the 5 books that we have published that are secondary works about the Urantia book. My specialty is in publishing the supplemental materials, which are these new transmissions from the same teachers. It's controversial stuff, but I think people will find it a very good way to access the spirit of the Urantia book, including my brand new book, which is called The Adventure of Being Human, which is featured there, and those are advanced teachings, spiritual teachings, based on the Urantia Revelation.
There's a lot to talk about, a lot of material here, of course, and we'll get to it as much as we can. We're going to continue, of course, and primarily talk about the Urantia book, but if we have time later, we might talk a little bit about some of these updates and, of course, some of your other books as well. But let's take a short break here at this point. The websites are going to be linked up on redicecreations.com, evolving-souls.org, and originpress.org for you as well, so you can click through easily from there. But we'll take a short break at this point, and we'll be right back with Byron Belitsos.